Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Polite Society, which actually came out I think about a month ago, but I didn't manage to catch it in theaters, so I was able to watch it on streaming the other day, and I wanted to talk about this movie because there are some interesting things in here. So this is a British action comedy directed by Nida Manzoor. I hope I'm not pronouncing that wrong, I could be. But this movie follows two sisters. Ria, played by Priya Kansara, is an aspiring stunt woman, and her older sister, Lena, played by Ritu Arya, is a art school dropout. She really loves artwork and she loves what she does, but she doesn't think that she's quite good enough to pursue her dreams. Eventually, Lena meets this super rich, kind of pretentious suitor named Salim. She gets coerced into this arranged marriage of sorts. And Ria is able to smell that something fishy is afoot, so she sets out to crash the wedding, rescue her sister, and hopefully set her on a path towards pursuing her dreams. Right from the get-go, one thing that I really dug about this is that it's very stylish. It's told in chapters, almost like it reminds me of Tarantino. I know that's kind of an easy comparison to make, because a lot of films have done that and get compared to Tarantino. I'm not saying this rips off anything that he does in his films, but the use of title cards to indicate a new chapter kind of reminded me of that, but it was really effective. I like movies that sort of go out there and try to do something unique with their style, and this does that. Some of the chapters definitely feel more deserving of their own title card more than others, but what can I say? I'm just a sucker for movies that do that. You can definitely feel a lot of other influences in this movie as well, a lot of which are things that you would see in Bollywood and a lot of martial arts classics like stuff that Jackie Chan has done. At times it really has that sort of Scott Pilgrim feel of these action sequences, these fight sequences almost feel like they're ripped straight out of a comic book or an anime, in that a lot of intermittent slow motion is used and all of the punches and kicks are highly exaggerated, ridiculous. Clearly there's a lot of wire work and stuff going on, but that's kind of the fun of it. When you're working with a shoestring budget and you can't really put a lot of resources into making all of these moves look perfectly real, why not just go out and make something that's self-aware about how cartoonish it is at times? I appreciate that about this film. But my favorite thing in this might just be the relationship between these two sisters. It just feels very authentic. Both actresses do a great job of portraying their relationship as being loving, but also very flawed and strained at times. There's just something really real that felt like it was there, especially in the opening. They're sort of creating YouTube videos together. Just something as simple as that can come off as really sincere, and I think they did a great job with that here. I also really like the themes of pursuing your dreams and not losing yourself in the pursuit of trying to please someone else. That goes into play here a lot. And I also just really appreciate a story that puts focus on stuntmen and stunt women who are oftentimes the unsung heroes of the filmmaking process, especially when it comes to big action flicks that are clearly influences for a movie like this. With that said, there are a lot of things that weigh this movie down. In particular, there are a couple points where it completely changes genres, like out of thin air, and it just feels really jarring. It starts out as something that you might think is just this sort of cute little domestic comedy, and then it sort of morphs into a live action martial arts cartoon. Eventually it goes in a more sci-fi thriller direction. It's just a lot of things being mashed together, and they don't all fit together perfectly. And don't get me wrong, movies can absolutely bend the rules and blend genres. It's just a matter of whether or not it feels natural and progressive in a way that I still feel like I'm watching the same movie in the same world, and it shouldn't feel like a couple different movies sort of warring with each other for screen time, and here it definitely feels like that in a couple instances. And I don't think the screenplay here is great. There are a lot of cliches, and like in the beginning there's a sequence in which Ria has to face off against some school bullies, and I don't feel that was really needed. It's all a part of her character arc for sure, because they're putting her down and telling her that she'll never be a great stunt woman because she's not good enough right now. But I do feel that they could have taken that element out of the movie and it would be all the better for it. And this kind of ties in with the fact that it changes genres a lot, but I think they take some ambitious swings here with some of the twists and turns that don't really work. Again, it sort of feels like you're suddenly plunged into a completely different movie that takes itself a little bit more seriously than it needs to. It's not even that. It's just that it goes too big scale. Maybe with a bigger budget they could have done some of these larger than life things that they were trying to do. I just don't think it works within the context of the film that they sort of started building from the beginning. Like for instance, the villain of this movie, I guess you could say, is Salim's mom. That's not really a spoiler, you kind of know right from the get-go, but she's just this cartoonishly, annoyingly just evil woman, and there's even a line where she sort of has Ria like on her knees and says something along the lines of, "You foolish, pathetic child." Just a lot of lines that made me roll my eyes. There's being self-aware and knowing that your film is a little cartoonish and sort of embracing that. And then there's just really cliche dialogue, and I think they could have definitely sort of fixed up the script here a little bit. The humor does work for the most part, but there are definitely a couple of jokes that are just a little too juvenile and goofy for my taste. But again, the relationship between these two sisters really grounds it, makes it fun and engaging. I think they both do a fantastic job of elevating some of the dialogue that doesn't really work well for me. So, flaws in all, I really respect when a director doesn't conform to genre norms that a lot of people are going to expect going into something. Instead, it's a movie that goes in a lot of weird, bonkers directions. Even if they don't all pan out perfectly, I respect the ambition. Believe me, there are plenty of things that don't work for me in Polite Society, but I absolutely still recommend checking it out if you're looking for something new and fresh, energetic, and quirky. It'll probably work for you. I'm gonna give this movie a 3 out of 5, and that is a positive score for me. Anything above a 2.5 is a positive for me. And I know that's not a super high score, but I think it's important to remember that not every movie has to be this flawless masterpiece in order to be worth watching. Sometimes you just need something happy and fun to sit down and watch on a rainy Sunday or something. I think this is perfect for that. It's fun, it's unique. Not everything works for me, but it was a worthwhile attempt from the director, and I really enjoy the performances. So definitely give this one a watch if it sounds like something that you'd be interested in. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts on Polite Society. Be sure to drop down into the comments and let me know what you think of the film. Is this one of the best of the year so far? Do you think it's just kind of okay like I do, or do you not like it? I haven't really seen any reviews for this that go too far in the negative direction, so that's a good thing. But as always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.